LGBT acronym means lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgender. Many people like people of the same sex as they are because being attracted to someone of the same gender is common and make you who you are. Some may be confident about how they feel and others may need more time to maintain their sexual orientation. Everyone is different and there is no right or wrong age to realize that they are lesbian, gay or bisexual. Sexual orientation does not need to be improved. For some people and for others, it will be smooth and may be changed over time. Lesbian means when a girl or a woman is romantically and sexually attracted to another girl, even at daytime, they were in a relationship with a man. Gay is when a boy or a man who is romantically and sexually attracted to another man. Bisexual. Bisexual is someone who is romantically and sexually attracted to both of people of the opposite sex and of the same sex. This attraction also occurs at a different times. Transgender is an umbrella term used to describe individuals who do not complete and do not follow social understandings of their sexuality and sexual identity. There are 4 types of transgender. These are transsexual, which is when a person's gender identity is different from their biological gender. They are assigned as at birth. Trans man is transgender person who is assigned a female at birth but whose gender identity is male. Non-binary gender is when a gender not exclusive gender identity is an identity that is outside of gender equality. Cross-dressing pupil is gender-specific clothing. Cross-dressing people know their biological gender. The guys community is often associated with certain symbols, especially rainbow or rainbow flags. According to Gilbert Baker, the creators of the commonly known rainbow flag, each color represents a value in the community. Okay, we start with pink. Pink means sexuality. Red, life. Orange, healing. Yellow, the sun. Green, nature. Blue, art. Indigo, harmony. And lastly, violet is spirit.
Assalamualaikum and good evening everyone. My name is Fakihah Nadia binti Hassan. My ID number is PC19051 and I am from group L'Oreal. Our group topic is about LGBT. So in this video I will talk about the causes of LGBT. Basically there are many reasons why the LGBT keep increasing, but in this video I will just choose 3 reasons why the LGBT is keep increasing. One of the reason is when there are nobody cares about them. Most studies have found that the beginning of LGBT relationship is begin when they are at the age of teenagers. When we are teenagers, what are we seeking for is of course attention and love from everyone. And when we are teenager, our maturity level also is low. So to keep survive from depression and anything else that can make the teenager feel stressed, they will find someone who they are trusted and their belief. So the next point is when the couple is start to understanding each other and accepted by others. For example, in Denmark, Norway and Sweden, they can accept the existence of LGBT. This recognition has indirectly resulted The resulted the LGBT couples are more open to reveal their true identity. So the last point is their surrounding. Mostly, children that are adopted by lesbian couple have a high tendency uh, to become lesbian when they become adult. This situation occurs due to the existence of social learning factors by children, where they are often exposed to such behavior. That's all from me. Thank you.
What is LGBT stands for? L means lesbian, G means gay, B means bisexual, and T means transgender. Good morning, my name is Presna, daughter of Sivam. ID number TC19090. Today I'm going to talk about the history of LGBT community. The rainbow flag, which is also known as the pride flag of LGBT community, was designed by Gilbert Baker from San Francisco in 1976. Originally, the flag had 8 colors that reflected the diversity of the LGBT community. Baker came up with the flag after Harvey Milk challenged him to come up with a symbol of pride of the community. The original pride flag flew proud during the San Francisco Gay Freedom Day parade on June 25, 1978. Some say Baker was inspired by gay icon Judy Garland, although he says he got the idea from the World Peace Demonstration flag for Flag of the Races. 30 volunteers hand-dyed and stitched the first 2 flags for the Gay Freedom Day parade. The hot pink color was later dropped due to the unavailability of the fabric when the flag went into the production after the assassination of Harvey Milk. And then later the turquoise stripe was dropped to give the flag an even number. There are 8 colors in the flag. The meaning of each color is: hot pink means sexuality, red means life, orange means healing, yellow means sunlight, green means nature, turquoise means magic, blue means serenity, and violet means spirit. Discrimination is when you are treated unfairly because of who you are. For example, many LGBT people face discrimination. Nearly half of the LGBT children and young people are bullied at school. And then most trans people find it hard to get their gender corrected by recognized in law. And then many LGBT people have heard bad things being said in healthcare stuff. As we all know, there are so many discriminations against the LGBT community. For example, schools are unsafe and unwelcoming for the majority of LGBT students. 65% of them heard homophobic remarks, and 30% of them missed at least one day of school in the past month because they felt uncomfortable and unsafe. And then 85% of them are verbally and sexually harassed by the surrounding peoples. There are so many challenges faced by the LGBT community. For example, victims of hate crimes. The LGBT community become victims of targeted hate crimes and violence. The second one is harassment. Study shows 90% of students perceived as LGBT are harassed in schools. Homophobic comments or jokes are usually made from the friends, co-workers, and seniors. The third one is barrier to care. Many organizations and therapies often fail to help the LGBT community. This is due to lack of knowledge and experience, lack of understanding, lack of empathy, and prejudice. And the fourth one is social exclusion or marginalization. Around the world, the LGBT community is subject to violence, abuse, and discrimination. Especially vulnerable are the young LGBT people who are excluded from family and friend groups and often begin to underachieve at school. Discrimination can lead to restricted access to jobs, education, health, and housing. And the fifth one is family impact and rejection. Family is the biggest support system for any individual can have. Fear of rejection, especially from family, kept many LGBT people from openly sharing this part of their lives. And the sixth one is criminalization and legal injustice. In many countries, homosexuality is illegal and punishable by law. Many religions have little to no tolerance toward the LGBT community, and punishment can be vary from fines and imprisonment to even to the death penalty. Since we saw the challenges faced by the LGBT community, how to overcome the LGBT issue? Okay, first, support the Equality Act to make discrimination illegal, put an end to the bullying, stop anti LGBT legislation, increase the acceptance with creative ideas, celebrate activities, do not act as a homophobic. If we don't want to support the LGBT community, that's fine. But we should not discriminate them. Be open-minded people of 21st century because those LGBT community people might be our family members, friends, neighbors, relatives, or anybody. And then be an understanding and supportive person. As we all know, we have religions, so we have beliefs. According to my opinion, you are allowed to believe in whatever you feel like. So why aren't they allowed to believe what they like? Many religions do not support the homosexuality, and it is your decision whether to follow that decision or not. There are many resources to get more information about the homosexuality, and it is your duty to make an informed decision on how to handle the situation of someone coming out to you. Since we are talking about the LGBT community, I would like to share a short story about the LGBT person. We can also call them transgender. Uh, he's my relative boy. He's transgender right now. He has been a boy until secondary school, and then we notice he changed his behavior. Um, his parents and siblings, we relatives, all advise him. Some of them beat him, like his brothers, beat him, send him to spiritual talks, motivations. They even send him to psychologist to check on him. But even though they all do that, he changed his mindset and he tried to change himself to be a boy back, but he can't do that. But now his parents, they don't find any other choice, so they accepted him as a transgender. Since he believed in God a lot, he went to temple, he do so many things for God, and then so many of them at that place, his hometown, they respect him. That's what I know about a LGBT person. So discrimination is not a solution, as we all can still support them or understand their emotions. So that's all for me. Thank you.
This report assesses the extent to which people enjoy the rights to equality and non-discrimination. It does so by examining the lived experience of those groups commonly exposed to discrimination, and by analyzing the framework of laws, policies, and institutions established to combat discrimination and promote equality. LGBT community have their own rights in society as all the human creatures have the same. Based on some conditions, the LGBT communities can't act as a normal citizens. The problem is not by them itself. It is by some people, variations in environmental conditions. Moreover, people are marginalized and they suffer a lot for their rights and human beings. From these many issues and articles, we can conclude that LGBT struggle for their survival in mainstream society. Now, people are awake and try to find out the solution for problems of LGBT. Increasing recognition of same genders couples and legalizations of adoptions for some gender couples requires greater awareness of domestic violence within the community. To combat the discrimination the members of LGBT community face, we as a community need to focus on education, cracking down and bullying against the LGBT community, and being understanding and open-minded of an individual sexual orientation. Regardless of whether we agree with it or not, it is the key to their acceptance. We all as human beings deserve equality in rights. That's all from us, which is L'Oreal's groups. Thank you for watching.
Last but not least, we also interview some of others to know about their opinion on LGBT community.
Hi, hello, my name is Punita Malaravi. I'm from Klang Selangor. Okay, the question that I was asked is, what do you think about LGBT? So basically, LGBT is about stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender. So, in my opinion, we should support LGBT because some of them are still blaming that they are different from others, their behavior is different from others, and all that. But basically, the LGBT people is it happens because of their hormone changes. We cannot blame them. They are behaving like others, different from others, and anything, because their hormone changes. They are behaving like that, they change like that, they change their self like that. So we should be friendly with them, we have to accept them as our friend. And
Hi, my name is Keshavartini Anandan and I'm from Perak. The question I was asked, what are the cause of LGBT discrimination? Okay, the cause of LGBT discrimination is sexual orientation or gender identity. As well all know, some people are close-minded and homophobic, which is main reason for LGBT discriminations. As 21st century generations, we all should grow as community to focus on education to current and future generation. And my second question is, what are the types of discrimination plagues that LGBT community? In my opinion, abuse as both physically and verbally, and exclusion from social or professional events or activities, ignoring claims of LGBT members regarding physical and mental abuse, unfair treatment or at school and workplace by other students or employees or co-workers, indirect abuse such as like gossips, teasing, like that. So thank you so much.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Ummu. So my opinion is that the phenomenon of LGBT is increasingly becoming a major issue that drives the existence of preserve behavior among the community in Malaysia, especially among the younger generation. LGBT culture, as we know, does deviate from the norms of society in Malaysia, especially when it involves issues related to religion and culture in this country. So, the existence of this phenomenon sparked controversy, especially when it completely deviated from the true teachings of Islam, where Malaysia is one of the countries that adhere to the teachings of Islam as the official religion. These LGBT-related problems have brought a bad image to religious institutions and education. For example, the incident of a principal of a Tahfiz center who was arrested for committing sexual offences to 9 of his students. The principal, who is said to be an LGBT follower, committed sodomy, touched the victim's body, masturbated, and many more, causing serious injuries to the students. Therefore, among the efforts to address these LGBT issues, there is an urgent need to establish standards of enforcement and prosecution that are standard and easy to follow, so that all enforcement measures and actions as well as prosecutions are seen as standard and not chaotic.
Hai, Assalamualaikum dan selamat sejahtera. Saya Ashikin. Okey, so hari ni kita nak cakap pasal LGBT. Okey, apa itu LGBT? LGBT tu adalah akronim kepada perkataan lesbian, gay, bisexual dan transgender. Okey, LGBT ni adalah orang yang menyukai atau mencintai sesama jantina, seperti lelaki menyukai lelaki dan perempuan menyukai perempuan. Okey, seperti yang kita lihat sekarang dekat negara kita Malaysia, ramai sangat yang terlibat dalam golongan LGBT ni. Okey, seperti yang kita lihat kan, sekarang mereka semakin berani untuk menegakkan dia punya golongan LGBT tu, sehingga terdapat penubuhan dan persatuan, dan mereka juga menjalankan kempen bagi mengiktirafkan LGBT ni. Okey, sesetengah masyarakat berpendapat golongan LGBT ni mempunyai masalah mental. Tapi saya rasa mereka ni bukan ada masalah mental, tapi golongan ni mempunyai masalah dari segi perasaan, yang mana perasaan mereka susah untuk dikawal. Okey, adalah banyak sebenarnya, banyaklah faktor menyebabkan seseorang tu jadi lesbian, gay dan sebagainya lah. Yang utama adalah faktor keluarga. Okey, biasanya ibu bapa yang sibuk bekerja sehingga mereka mengabaikan anak mereka. Mereka lupa untuk mengambil berat tentang mereka. So, anak-anak ni yang rasa kurang kasih sayang dari ibu bapa akan lebih kepada kawan-kawan. So, mereka rasa kasih sayang kawan-kawan mereka tu lebih daripada ibu bapa mereka sendiri. So, mungkin dari situ dia akan rasa suka dan sayang sangat-sangat dekat kawan dia tu. Okey, dalam masa yang sama, pergaulan mereka pun boleh mempengaruhi mereka sendiri.
Hai, Assalamualaikum. Nama saya Nur Kamani Iliana. Jadi, hari ini saya ingin memberi pendapat saya mengenai LGBT. Jadi, LGBT ini adalah bukan lagi isu asing di negara kita, walaupun ia menjadi isu yang disembunyikan oleh pihak tertentu, namun ia kini tersebar luas melalui media baru. Secara logiknya, gejala LGBT ini menyalahi fitrah manusia yang normal. Aktiviti yang dilakukan oleh pengamal LGBT ini adalah bertentangan dengan kehendak agama, juga nilai-nilai murni masyarakat Malaysia. Jadi fenomena LGBT ini sangat memberi kesan mendalam kepada agama, individu serta masyarakat. Paling menyedihkan, makin ramai umat Islam kita telah pun ke arah gejala tersebut. Jadi perkara ini seharusnya perlu ditangani ataupun diberi pencerahan dengan baik oleh masyarakat kini. Jadi apa itu LGBT? LGBT adalah lesbian, gay, bisexual dan transgender, atau akronimnya sebagai LGBT yang kita tahu, dan dianggap sebagai satu penyakit mental, ya, kerana telah melawan fitrah. Okay, fitrah kehidupan manusia yang normal adalah hidup berpasang-pasangan. Itu adalah betul. Tetapi kita perlu berpasangan berlainan jantina, bukannya dalam definisi LGBT tersebut. Jadi sebagaimana telah diciptakan oleh Tuhan, lelaki pasangannya adalah perempuan dan perempuan pasangannya lelaki. Begitu juga dengan haiwan, betina dan juga jantan. Jadi kesimpulannya, setiap makhluk yang diciptakan di muka bumi ini berpasang-pasangan oleh kerana fitrah yang telah diciptakan.